I'm Margaret, and welcome to Knit Pickers PEI in beautiful downtown Mayfield. Today we're going to be working on a video tutorial on how to do a beautiful little lacy pattern called the Sorcerer's Stairs. And I just thought this was such a perfect tutorial as we're entering into the Halloween season. Now, this particular stitch is so easy. If you're knitting a flat piece, you're casting on an even number of stitches, and you knit the right side and the wrong side exactly the same. So it is so easy. But I'll also show you the slight difference if you decide that you want to knit this Sorcerer's Stairs stitch, that's a hard one to say, in the round. It's pretty, it lies perfectly flat, and it doesn't need to be saved just as a Halloween stitch. So let's get started, shall we? So here is the Sorcerer's Stairs stitch. When you're knitting this either as a flat piece or in the round, you're going to cast on an even number of stitches. When you're knitting a flat piece, the two outside edges, or I should say the two outside stitches, are your selvage edge stitches, and they're knit differently than the pattern sequence. So what you do on a flat piece, you're going to just knit that first stitch as you normally would. And then the pattern sequence is yarn over and knit two stitches together. So here we go, yarn over and get in there and knit those two stitches together. Yarn over and knit two together. Yarn over and knit two together. And it is as simple as that to do the Sorcerer's step or Sorcerer's stair. And so you're going to continue that sequence of yarn over and knit two together until you are finished your row and you come to your very last stitch. Whoops, which is just where we're at. Just about. I chose this color because it's a perfect pumpkin color for Halloween, but it does tend to be a bit of a splitty yarn, so it's giving me a bit of a challenge right now. Come on. So here we are nearing the end. I do my yarn over. I knit these two stitches together. And here I am at my last stitch on my flat piece. Now, as I mentioned, the last stitch on the flat piece and the first stitch on the flat piece are selvage stitches. So when you reach this last stitch, you're going to knit it through the back. Now, if you've never done knitting through the back, normally when you're doing a knit stitch, if you picture your knitting needles pointing upwards, to do a knit stitch, you're coming from the bottom up and to the back. When you're going to knit through the back of a stitch, you take your knitting needles pointing up, but your right hand needle is going to go down in the back of the stitch. And then you just wrap your yarn around and come up that way. And that is knitting through the back loop. Now, on a flat piece, I would just turn my work, knit that first selvage stitch, just like a regular knit stitch, yarn over, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together, yarn over, knit two together. But things are a little bit different if you're going to knit in the round. Knitting in the round, you don't need your selvage stitches. So what you do, I'm going to knit this in a different color just to show you what happens. on your odd rows, after you've cast on and you're knitting row 1, you would follow the sequence as you normally would, as we had just done on the previous row. The only difference is you wouldn't have these selvage stitches. So I'm just going to knit this selvage stitch and get it out of the way and pretend it doesn't exist. And we're going to pretend here that we're knitting in the round. So I have just finished casting on, and I've knit my first row, and I came to my stitch marker for the start of my second row. So for my second row, what I do is I bring my yarn forward. I start by purling 2 stitches together, just like that. And then I do the yarn over and I purl 2 stitches together. Yarn over and purl 2 stitches together. So the difference between knitting a flat piece and knitting in the round is that on a flat piece you are dealing with your 2 selvage stitches. One stitch is going to, the first selvage stitch is going to be knit. Then your sequence is yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together until you reach that last selvage stitch, which you knit through the back loop. When you are knitting in the round, you don't have selvage stitches, and the order, everything is a little bit reversed, really. So instead of doing yarn over, knit 2 together, on your purl rows, which will be your even rows, you start out with purl 2 together and then you do your yarn over. So that's the major difference. And you won't have a selvage stitch at the end because you're knitting in the round. So here I am at the end of my quote-unquote round sequence. I'm doing my purl 2 together, and I would do my yarn over, and I would reach my stitch marker. This selvage stitch, I'm only purling it because it's there, but it normally wouldn't be there. But what we've done is we have done the exact opposite of what is on your knit side. So to recap, when you're knitting a flat piece, your selvage stitch is a knit, then yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, ending with yarn over, knit 2 together, and then knit the other selvage through the back loop. And you turn your work and you repeat that sequence again and again and again. When you are knitting in the round, row 1 is that same sequence minus your selvage stitches. So it is just yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, all the way to the end of the row. Slip your stitch marker, and then on row 2, or any of your even numbered rows, you are going to purl 2 together, yarn over, purl 2 together, yarn over, purl 2 together, yarn over, until you reach your stitch marker. Now you're on an odd number row, you're on row 3, and you're going to start with a yarn over, knit 2 together. And that is the Sorcerer's Stair stitch. But have fun with this. It's a lovely little stitch. It would look great as the cuff on the sleeve of a sweater. I can even see doing a pretty hat in something like this. There's a number of different things you could do. I could even see an entire sweater knit in this stitch. It's simple, it's decorative, and it lies nice and flat. It doesn't curl on your edges. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and give it a try sometime. I'd love to see what you do with it. So if you do give the Sorcerer's Stair stitch a try, send me some pics. And in the meantime, happy knitting.